This is One on One. Hi, this is Steve Adubato coming to you from the Voice Summit at NJIT. This event is sponsored by Amazon Alexa. The gentleman I'm about to introduce you knows a lot about innovation. He is Dr. Don Sebastian, President and CEO of the New Jersey Innovation Institute. Don, let me ask you, this conference, and again, it's not so much a lull, because there's about 2,200 to 2,500 people in another room listening to presentations, keynotes, panel discussions. How would you describe this Voice Summit and what it means to NJIT, but also to Newark?
Well, when you look for a change, it's great to have something visible that really points to the fact the rest of the world gets what you've been trying to do for years, right? And Newark has been trying for years to really grow its tech base. And the selection of the committee to have this thing hosted here, first is wonderful for the university, a chance to show off all of the new construction, this beautiful facility, and the things that we do here, but even greater for Newark, really to be a turning point in the public visibility that this is a vibrant, growing, tech-based community, and it's going to be a very cool place to live, work, and play.
But now talk about, I think it was Aisha Glover, who heads up economic development for the city, talked about the technology infrastructure in Newark. Could you break that down?
So
what that
let me
means?
tell you about our specific project, because then it leads into that.
Sure.
Right? It's our Smart City Initiative.
It's called the Smart City
We're now
Initiative.
calling it Tech Smart Newark, so we give it a brand name. It's been our belief that there's tremendous power in the Internet of Things, smart devices connected to the cloud, data analytics in the back end, to really transform urban living. And we have to, because the growth—
What do you mean transform urban living?
Well, the growth of population projected for the cities is explosive, but they're going to be winners and losers, right? We can't just be crumbling infrastructure. We can't have roads congested with traffic. We can't have trash that doesn't get picked up. We can't have electrical systems that go down in a storm or that overload in the summertime when the heat and the humidity are at their maximum. We can't have water mains that break. All of these things that have sort of been neglected and unattended now have to be fixed, and fixed in a resilient way. And these smart devices offer that capability, but there's a problem. The problem is, if you think back to the dot-com burst in the late 1990s, early 2000s, anything you could put on the internet was, but they didn't all have a sound business model.
Right.
And so how do you get past that? I'm a chemical engineer by training. We do scale up. There are ways to test as you go from an idea in the laboratory to building a refinery in the middle to make sure all the pieces still fit together. And we've not done that in the world of software. So here was our proposition. Newark has fiber, dark fiber. They own a complex—
What does that mean?
That means they have fiber that nobody's using, fiber optics, like your Fios, if I can use a brand name. High-speed data connectivity that goes throughout the city. So what if we could connect into that and create a city that's blanketed by high-speed wireless as a capability? That's infrastructure to begin with. Now we bring along partners like IBM that brings Watson Analytics, and they're a service that you can plug into. And we have Juniper that has a cloud interface. And we have Nokia Bell Labs that has 5G telephone service and advanced analytics. We start to assemble big tools like that. We make the city like a smartphone, right? The iPhone first, then the Android is a platform. It's not just a phone. It has a GPS in it. It has your telephony. It has texting. It has email services, all kinds of things that you don't have to create if you're a developer. You can just do your little piece and plug it in. So now we have a plug-and-play city where if you're a developer and you have an idea for traffic management or parking management or garbage pickup or energy management, all of these things, you don't have to invent an entire city. You can plug in and
These are quality of life issues.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
People go, oh, it's all about technology. It's about quality of life.
It's really about addressing the issues that citizens need to have addressed to make this a great place to live, work, and play.
And your operation, the Innovation Institute, is that what you're dedicated to?
So this is our model. We do it in many other technology areas, but in this case, the model is bring together small companies, put them in our incubator, put them cheek to jowl
Tell
together.
everyone what an incubator means.
Oh, so it's a facility, right, that has presumably lower cost rent. You think about co-working spaces are very popular there. It's a place where we give business assistance services. So people who are techies and need to understand business skills can learn that. People who are business-oriented entrepreneurs and need intersection with technology people, we can make that mashup work. But now even better, we can now bring in big companies and customers who need access to innovation. We live in a world today where R&D is not corporate, M&A is corporate, right? They look to buy things that are ready to bring to market. So part of what we do is create a dense packing, so you sort of have a supermarket in the area.
Dense packing.
Dense packing. Lots of companies together, small companies,
Right.
innovators, creators, academics, students, all around, in this case, the area of smart city technology. In other places, it's biotech related or aviation related. Throughout the state, we can use this recipe over and over again. But for here, the focus is on the smart city technologies, right? And then connecting them to the big players, some of whom are already volunteering their capabilities like IBM, and others who want access to that capability and create a sort of virtualized R&D, right?
But John, let me follow up on this.
Please.
What I've often had conversations with you about, as well as with Dr. Joel Bloom, the president here at NJIT, is the rapidly evolving, changing role of higher education in economic development. Someone says, what do colleges, universities do? Yeah, they teach young people to go off and get jobs. Hopefully.
Or
So
they
much
say,
more than that.
my research is a patentable item, buy my patents.
Go ahead.
Right? The number of startups in the country that come out of academic research patents is not enough to sustain an economy. So what we're doing, our NJI was created as an expression of the university's economic development mission. So we're out there trying to say, how do we make technology work? And how do we make it work to solve citizen problems? Because if we do that, it becomes a magnet then to bring more companies in to do that, and more companies, right? And then we can take that theme and do it with other theme parks throughout the state. So now, New Jersey doesn't have to be a one-trick pony. We only know in our lifetime of Silicon Valley, so we think that's the ideal, and that's the only thing.
It's not the only way to do it.
It's not the only way to do it, and there was a time when Newark was twice the Silicon Valley for the United States, and across
When?
many industries. So you go back to the beginning of the country, it was where Hamilton said, we're going to do manufacturing as a country.
Alexander Hamilton said, what about Newark?
He said, Patterson Falls is where we're going to start our textile industry, and then leather manufacturing grew up side by side here, and we spawned not just the end products, but the machinery industries that became the basis ultimately for steam locomotives manufactured here. A whole industrial machinery complex that built up, which then 100 years later, or less actually, brought in young guys like Thomas Edison.
Right.
His first factories were here in Newark. So all of this, why is voice important? Because all of this IoT technology, we need to be able to interact with. We can't walk around with mini keyboards in our glasses, right? Voice is a much older communication than written speech, right? And so what we need to harness is how do we communicate with the cyber world the same way that we communicate with each other. And that's a wonderful opportunity.
Dr. Don Sebastian, President and Chief Executive Officer of the New Jersey Innovation Institute here at NJIT. Thank you, Don.
It always goes too fast.
Well said, my friend. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck, New Jersey, Valley National Bank, Delta Dental of New Jersey, PSC&G, the law firm of Gibbons, P.C., United Airlines, and by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.